10 mind-blowing facts about Japanese language. Linguistic experts try to figure out what makes our language unique and universal. Language is viewed as a cultural, social, and psychological phenomenon. Studying languages other than our own can help researchers grasp what lies at the heart of humanity's unique mode of communication. All of this research can help us figure out what it means to be human. Japanese is a maritime agglutinative language with relatively basic phonotactics. It belongs to the Japonic language family, and its origins and relationship to other languages are unknown. There is little information available about the language's prehistory or when it first originated in Japan. During the early modern Japanese period, the standard dialect shifted from the Kansai area in the south to the Edo region. Japanese has no verifiable ancestry with Chinese, even though Chinese characters are frequently used in their written form. In this video, I'll be telling you about the various mind-blowing facts about the Japanese language and why it is so popular. So comment below to tell me why you find the language so attractive. Have you learned Japanese? If yes, then this video will be a piece of cake for you. If not, this video will still be your cup of tea. So let us not waste any more time and dive right into the video. Number 10. Japan is the only country where the Japanese language is used as the official language. Japanese has no official status in Japan. It's de facto national language. Jungo or Kitsugo is a notion that is the inverse of dialect. This normative language evolved from the language used in higher class regions of Tokyo during the Meiji Restoration. Very little is documented about the prehistory of the Japanese language. The only major language whose genetic origins is unknown is Japanese. The Japanese-Korean explanation remains most compelling, but other ideas have also been offered. According to one prominent view, the hybrid form of Japanese is due to its Austronesian lexicon substratum and Altic grammatical superstratum. The growth of the Kitsugo common language has resulted in linguistic unity. Dialectal distinctions have been reduced due to modern mobility and mass media. Number 9. Japanese does not have any plurals attached to it. In Japanese, there is no apparent distinctions between multiple and single nouns. This may perplex Japanese learners, particularly those familiar with the language with a distinct boundary. However, many Japanese nouns can be used both ways without altering their forms. This is not to say that Japanese plurals are easier to learn than those in other languages. Number 8. Japanese does not have tones. Unlike several other tonal languages, Japanese is not a tonal language. As a result, Japanese speakers can generate diverse meaning without a specific tone for each word, with a high or low differentiations in their inflections. Hiragana emerged approximately 800 AD from the cursive writing style of Man-yōgana and was not widely recognized until contemporary times. Number 7. The Japanese language has a unique alphabet system for writing foreign words. Japan has 3 primary writing systems: Kanji, Hiragana, and Katakana. Kanji is the earliest and is a picture-based Chinese system composed of logograms, which are letters that represent full words. The Japanese match the kanji sign associated with a certain word in Chinese to the same term in their language. Most characters may now be read in the Chinese method and the Japanese. Because reading kanji is difficult for non-Japanese people and women, males were compelled to utilize it for official writing. Number 6. Japanese is the 9th most frequent language spoken by native speakers. Identifying the world's most spoken languages is more challenging than you think. It is nearly impossible to assign concrete facts such as X million native speakers to these languages. But again, who doesn't enjoy a good list? As a result, we have generated 2 versions for you. Around 370 million native English speakers and 978 million people speak English as a second language. Hindi is spoken by 342 million people in the Indian subcontinent, whereas 315 million speak Arabic in the Middle East and North Africa. Nevertheless, English will continue to be the lingua franca of business, travel, and international relations for the foreseeable future. Number 5. Romaji has an intriguing origin story. A Japanese Catholic called Yajiro invented the Romaji writing systems in 1548, which was quickly printed by Jesuit missionaries. Romaji became less popular during the isolationist period, but it made a comeback when Japan abandoned its isolationist ideas and strived to become a global player during the Meiji period. The 3 most prevalent kana romanization systems are Hepburn, Nippon Shiki, and Kunrei Shiki. Hepburn's long vowels can be represented by either the kana spelling or macarons. Add an apostrophe or hyphen between kani or kan-i and kani to distinguish between basic and complicated. Because certain kana do not have globally recognized forms of romanizations, you may come across works that employ a combination of Romaji systems. There are two methods for typing in Japanese: kana input and Romaji input. Children prefer the latter, and producing words in kana or kanji is significantly faster for beginners trying to write out a phrase on their smartphone. If you have never used a Japanese keyboard before, entering your search phrases in Romaji is the most effective method to find what you are looking for. If you are going to Japan, you may use it to look up searches phrases in Japanese on Google Maps and other sites. Romaji will help you comprehend the pronunciations to a large extent. Number 4. The Japanese language is genetically unrelated to any other language. Japanese and Korean are completely incomprehensible to one another. Both languages make extensive use of prepositions and filler words that have no purpose other than to affect the sentence tone. Approximately 70% of the terms in both languages are of Chinese origin. You can use Google Translate between the two languages, although you can deal with other languages. Korean and Japanese language and intonations are quite similar, especially when comparing to the Gyeongsang dialects of Korean and Japanese. Number 3. The Japanese language is one of the world's most rapidly spoken languages. Although Japanese has the highest spoken pace of any language, it also has the lowest information density per second. On the other hand, according to a new study, Vietnamese, Mandarin Chinese, and English had the greatest rates of information conveyed per second while keeping some of the slowest spoken syllables per second. Number 2. In Japanese, I can be referred to in various ways. Depending on your social rank, gender, and context, there are several ways to say I or me in Japanese. Watashi is the most commonly used term in Japanese to say I or me, followed by watakushi, atashi, uchi, washi, boku, ore, and ware. Watashi is the most official method to express yourself in every scenario, whereas wataki is more casual. Jibun is a gender-neutral term commonly used by military personnel and athletes. Number 1. The Japanese language is genetically unrelated. Kanji is a Japanese writing system derived from Chinese characters. Contrary to common misconceptions, Japanese is neither connected to nor developed from the Chinese language. They are not related to the Chinese language family. The Japanese language is thought to be one of the most unique globally, with no clear origins. What a fascinating concept! With that, we have come to the end of the video. What do you think about the language? Has the footage sparked curiosity in you? Do you want to learn the language? What got you interested in the language in the first place? Let me know in the comment section below. I am eager to read your comments. The best words will be pinned by the end of the day. That was it for today. Please like and share the video with all of those who might be interested in the language. Also, subscribe to our channel for more informative videos. Thank you.